Okay, today we're going to talk about just using a regular pencil and all the different tools that you're able to use with using a pencil. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to talk about is how pencils can vary, how dark and light they are. So for example, your regular traditional pencil that you have, like these pencils, all right, they are great. They're nice, they get a good range. There's lights, darks, mediums. Your regular mechanical pencil, although these are great, okay, they're great for sketching, little doodles. For shading, it's a little harder to deal with shading because it's very fine point. It's actually a lot easier to shade with a regular pencil. Okay, so I would definitely try out the differences with them. All right, so with pencils, all right, so your regular standard pencil is, a great range. They do make pencils that are lighter and darker. Okay, these are a little bit darker. They are, they just do dark shades. And you definitely can play around with them. Okay, so how do we go about shading and how do we actually work with things that have value to them? So when you're looking at an object, any kind of object, and you have to determine what kind of shading is being done. Is it a solid shade where it's one whole value? Okay, so it might be a dark value, like this, nice and solid. Or is it somewhere in the middle? All right. Now what I would like you to do is, for your practice, is create a value scale. So this is a value scale. It is basically a whole bunch of solid colors, okay, or shades, in just pencil. Now there's something called monochromatic, there's achromatic. Achromatic is kind of similar to monochromatic. Monochromatic means one color, achromatic means no color, so it's just pencil. All right. I'm going to make an achromatic scale of just 4, where it goes from dark to light, just like this, all right? Now, sometimes you might need to blend with your fingers, which is absolutely fine, and you can even, like this bottom one, just use a little bit on my hand, all right? And you can make that nice, beautiful range. When you're looking at an object and you're trying to determine if it's is it a solid area or is it more of like a blended area, you gotta kind of squint and you'll be able to kind of see, all right, well, do I have some shading, for example, on the tape? All right, if I just kind of look at it just right, you can see like there's shadows on the side. Is it fading out, like on the side right here? I know it's a little hard to see, but if you kind of squint, you can see how it's darker on the side and it gets lighter over here, okay? I wonder if actually it would be a lot easier on here. Actually, you can kind of see the shadows here. All right, see how it's a little darker there and then it kind of gets lighter? Is it fading or is it one solid area that's dark, okay? Now to do the faded one, how you do that is you take your pressure of the pencil, and I would try to make it about 2 fingers wide. Don't make tornadoes. Okay, I'll show you what tornado. Tornado is this thing that goes little by little by little by little by little, all right there. That's a tornado. Okay, tornadoes are just not good. You want to make it nice and wide. So you're going to go make a nice wide stretch. Even coverage is the most important thing when you are creating shading. Okay, and you go back and forth and you stretch it out. If you need to, you can take your finger and you can kind of go back and forth to fill in the space. Now, curved edges, anything that has like a curved, edge to it, tend to have this gradation where it kind of, fades out. All right. Sometimes flat edges, I find, anything that might have, like, I don't know, if there's like a fold in fabric, okay? This whole area might be back, okay? It might be just flat. So we're gonna curve up and curve back. And when you're doing shading, you want to have contrast in your shading, okay? So this really pops because there's darkness next to it, and sometimes I'll make it really extra dark next to the line. A couple other things when you're dealing with shading is that you want to make sure that you fill in. It's not sloppy. You want to go all the way up to the edge. All right, so this is really up to the edge. All right? If you make a mistake, you can easily erase. Okay. Couple of tools to help you out. First of all, yes, you get messy and it's okay, but your fingers are an awesome tool to help you blend. There are other things called blending stumps. All right, I'm going to show you a whole range of them. These are pretty cool. They're basically paper, okay, wrapped paper. Now this one is the smallest one. This one's they're a lot bigger. And what happens here is you take this and you can blend with these. All right, so I can make this nice and smooth all the way out and get into small little crevices. All right, this is definitely a tool that can help you. Now notice I put just a little bit there and I kind of blend that out. All right, that's pretty neat. So this is just working with pencil. I want you to create a couple different values. I want a value scale somewhere, all right, where you've created solid areas of value, all right, and make sure that you fill in. You don't want any gaps. You want solid coverage. And I want a couple of gradations that you practice. Definitely practice without aid and support, okay? And you can practice with support too, because sometimes you don't have everything to actually help you out and do that, to get everything, you know. For example, if we just have a pencil, well, how are you going to be able to do it without these, okay? Use these. Okay, so that is a pencil and all the things that you can do with that.